something tells me you've been missing speed, altitude, and adrenaline for a while. If I'm right, then you're in the right place because we've got a selection of mind-blowing aviation moments just waiting for you. From the cockpit, it's hard to feel just how fast an F-16 can go, but from a boat docked nearby, it's crystal clear. Ever wonder how airplanes break the sound barrier? Well, take a look at what a jet engine does to runway asphalt, and you'll see why that question answers itself. Watch as the morning light and humidity reveal the powerful air currents an airplane has to overcome in flight. This plane looks totally ordinary until this moment. Yeah, that's a propeller plane with rocket boosters, and it's as awesome as it sounds. The pilot of this plane must have skipped physics in school, not because he was a bad student, but because he knew he'd break every rule once he got behind the controls. Like this guy didn't put his phone in airplane mode, or is that not how it works? It's no secret that nightmare shows look more spectacular with all the pyrotechnics and smoke, but just look at this mind-blowing angle. This McDonald's DC-10 was supposed to put out a local fire, but strong winds decided to give the house roof a new paint job instead. It's hard to tell what this propeller plane pilot had in mind, but he came dangerously close to giving the camera operator a free haircut. Wait, didn't they say there'd be 7 jets at this air show? Why is there only one? Here's another incredible example of rotor-tip vortices, but some people will claim that someone threw toilet paper on the helicopter's blades. When an experienced pilot gets for regular flying, he starts pulling off tricks to shock his less seasoned colleagues. It's unlikely that you never heard of the Blue Angels, but if that's somehow the case, here's a close-up of what they're capable of. Watching the massive Mi-26 is a thrill until it loses control just a dozen meters from you. But don't worry this time, everyone got away with only a scare, and a couple of them got fired.
The show begins.
Hopefully you don't think propeller planes are boring or outdated, because they can pull off moves no jet can match. Relax even if the sky looks like total chaos. Every pilot has spent hundreds of hours practicing to make it look effortless and totally safe. Ladies and gentlemen, if you look to your left, you'll see Dubai's famous palm-shaped island. But sorry, scratch that. There's a guy in a jet suit flying alongside us and blocking the view. What do you do if your plane breaks down and you're flying over mountains with not a soul in sight? For this pro pilot, the answer was clear. Good thing he had a parachute within reach. Thank you, higher power. There's nothing scarier for pilots than barely visible power lines when flying low. Luckily, no one was hurt this time. You're in luck today because you get a front row seat to an F-16's low-speed maneuvers and heat trap ejection. It's not every day you see a World War II aeroplane in the air, and witnessing its pilot's oops moment is even RAR. That's not looking good, but luckily no one was hurt. What could be cooler than a low pass by an F-35? It's the only one that can pull it off at supersonic speed. The B-2 Spirit has been around for decades, yet it still gives stadium crowds the chills as if they're seeing a UFO. Wonder what it's like to perform stunts at high speed? I'll just hop in the cockpit with this pro by subscribing to our videos. It's not every day you get to witness a US Air Force tech demo and feel the raw power of an F-16's turbojet engines. True love is a MiG-17 pilot racing his girlfriend in her Lamborghini Huracan Evo. The average length of an aircraft carrier runway is just 200 meters, so fighter jets have very little time to reach takeoff speed. Luckily, that's all the engines need. Another reason helicopters are awesome is that when you're under one, you don't need an umbrella. If you've never seen an F-111 perform a dump and burn, what have you been doing on the internet all these years? Better subscribe to our channel so you never miss out on something like this. Meet the Mi-26, a 36M giant and the world's top cargo-carrying helicopter. It can lift up to 20 tons, which is pretty impressive considering it weighs 28 tons itself. In thick fog, visibility can drop below 100 meters, so pilots are almost entirely on instruments. Now imagine the skill it takes to pull off a takeoff like this Lightning F6 did in those conditions. Landing on winter's icy surfaces requires extra space for braking, so on this ultra-short runway, the pilot didn't stand a chance. Fortunately, everyone walked away unharmed. The best spot for an ad or love note is somewhere visible from every point in the city. Tell us in the comments if you can figure out what these pilots wrote in the sky. This operator's friend promised a close flyover, but left out that it would be one of the coolest passes in aviation history right over his head. These guys must really love maximizing their time. How else do you explain this takeoff with the plane still loaded? If the airshow announcer hadn't mentioned that the MiG-17F was flying, the audience might have thought a missile was buzzing past them. Obviously, only true pros can be this in sync when they fly, but what do you call a team that can land with such flawless coordination? One word: mega minds. Don't miss this once-in-a-lifetime chance to see a plane overtaking another plane from another plane. Don't show this one to Tom Cruise, where he'll feel obligated to do an even wilder stunt for the next Top Gun movie. Get a pilot's view of what it looks like to refuel a fighter jet in the air. Doesn't that skill deserve a like? This air race ended before it even started when one pilot's plane slipped into his opponent's blind spot. Luckily, only the planes took damage.